In the farthest reaches of the galaxy, the Galactic Empire stands as an unstoppable force, its fleets vast, and its armies powerful, its influence stretching across countless worlds ruled by beings from every corner of space. The Empire's might is without question. A single command from the Emperor sends entire star systems into panic. Its warships are colossal and nearly indestructible, each one equipped with advanced technology and superior weaponry that crushes all opposition beneath their heels. For centuries, no enemy has managed to challenge the Empire's supremacy. In fact, the very idea that anyone could oppose the Empire seems laughable, a fantasy too far-fetched to consider. But that perception is about to change when a strange signal is intercepted by the Empire's intelligence network. The transmission is unusual in both its tone and content. At first, it seems like a joke. The message is simple, almost childish in its wording. We're here, prepare to laugh. But it is not the message itself that catches the Empire's attention. It is the source of the transmission. The coordinates show an uncharted sector of space, one that the Empire has never encountered before. The region is far from any known trade routes and largely unexplored. The very idea that anyone could exist there is absurd to the Empire's commanders, who have seen the galaxy's many wonders and dangers. They expect the source of the signal to be some unknown species with technology far inferior to their own. They send scouts to investigate and are shocked when these scouts report back with unsettling news. A fleet is gathering in the uncharted sector, a fleet made up of ships that appear primitive at best, old battered vessels, seemingly cobbled together from a mishmash of alien and human technology. They seem entirely out of place in the galaxy's sophisticated star systems. The Empire's commanders laugh at the idea of these ships being any threat to their vast fleets. Surely these are nothing more than a few derelict ships, lost in space, perhaps some explorers or pirates, with no real power to speak of. They send word to the Emperor, who orders a full investigation, but the tone remains clear. There is no need to worry. These human ships are nothing to fear. As the human fleet grows larger, the Empire's commanders take their time preparing for what they believe will be a quick and easy victory. They are confident their weapons will obliterate these strange ships in an instant. Their battle plans are set, and the stage is prepared. The Empire's fleet assembles in orbit around a nearby moon, their superior firepower poised to wipe out whatever foolish humans have dared to cross their path. But as the first human ship emerges from the unknown void and into the Empire's sensor range, something unexpected happens. The ship doesn't appear to be running from anything. It doesn't appear to be fleeing or afraid at all. The human ship is small compared to the Empire's vast warships, yet it holds its ground, and as it moves through the black expanse of space, its communication systems come alive. Once more the message repeats with no changes. Prepare to laugh. The Empire's commanders exchange looks of disbelief as they prepare their own vessels for battle. The invasion has begun, but instead of fear, the humans seem to exude confidence and something else, a strange energy that no one can quite place. The Empire's first mistake has already been made. They have underestimated their enemy. The battle begins, and at first, the Empire's commanders are certain of their victory. The human ships, appearing clunky and outdated, are no match for their state-of-the-art fleets. The Empire's ships are sleek, powerful, and equipped with weapons capable of obliterating anything in their path. They expect the human fleet to fold under their might, to retreat or be destroyed in a single strike. Their strategy is flawless. Surround the human ships, lock onto their coordinates, and use their superior firepower to crush them without hesitation. But something strange happens when the first shots are fired. The human ships, though small and seemingly fragile, are unexpectedly fast. They dart and weave through the Empire's deadly laser fire, avoiding every shot with impossible precision. The Empire's sensors struggle to track their movements, and their predictive algorithms fail to lock onto the erratic maneuvers of the human vessels. The humans aren't running. They're dancing around the Empire's attacks, as though they've mastered the art of dodging before they even engage in combat. It's as if the human pilots know exactly where the Empire's weapons will fire before the shots are even made. Aboard the Empire's flagship, the confusion grows. The battle is unlike any they faced before. Instead of the expected chaos of destruction and defeat, The human ships continue to evade and taunt them with odd, almost playful movements. The humans aren't fighting like soldiers. They're moving with a sense of freedom and humor. Their communication systems crackle with bursts of laughter, strange sounds, and jokes that have no place in a battle. To the Empire, it's as if the humans are laughing in the face of destruction, mocking the very idea of warfare itself. The Empire's commanders try to adjust their tactics. They order the deployment of fighters to chase down the human ships, hoping their superior numbers will overwhelm the small fleet. Yet the humans continue to defy expectation. Their ships are unpredictable, always a step ahead. One Empire fighter attempts to catch a human ship in its sights, only for the human vessel to suddenly jump to a completely different location, leaving the fighter firing at empty space. The Empire's pilots struggle to keep up, and their frustration mounts as the humans continue to toy with them. In the chaos of the battle, the human fleet seems almost carefree. The ships don't move with the stiff precision of Empire technology. Instead, they seem to move in whatever way suits the moment, as though their pilots are enjoying the game. To the Empire's horror, this game is being played at their expense. The humans never seem to be in danger. They always find a way to avoid destruction, to outsmart the Empire's firepower, and to have fun while doing it. It's as if they know something the Empire doesn't, and it drives the Empire mad with confusion and anger. As the battle drags on, the Empire's fleet begins to realize they're not just fighting a war. They're being outclassed by an enemy they cannot comprehend. The humans have no interest in conventional tactics. They are unpredictable, wild, and free-spirited. And this unpredictability is slowly beginning to break down the Empire's carefully crafted strategies. Their superior technology is starting to lose its edge. The humans are using their own methods, ones that can't be measured, ones that can't be countered with firepower alone. And through it all, the humans continue to laugh. It's a sound that echoes across the battlefield, mocking the Empire at every turn. It's a sound that drives the Empire to the brink of madness, because no matter how much firepower they unleash, the humans seem utterly unshaken. They are not afraid. They are enjoying themselves. And that, more than anything else, confounds the Empire's commanders. The battle takes an unexpected turn as the Empire's fleet continues to struggle with the human ships. At first, it had been a simple matter of underestimating them. After all, how could a few primitive ships stand against the might of the Empire? But now, the situation is beginning to change. Empire warships, designed for swift strikes and powerful firepower, are being outmaneuvered by the ragtag fleet of human ships. The humans' tactics are chaotic, but strangely effective, and the Empire's commanders are starting to realize that this is no ordinary fight. There is something about the humans that they hadn't anticipated: their unpredictable nature. The first major setback for the Empire comes when a powerful destroyer, a massive warship that had been positioned at the center of their fleet, is struck by a barrage of fire from the humans. The shots don't seem particularly advanced, but they have an odd, almost disorienting effect. The Empire ship's systems begin to malfunction, its targeting algorithms scrambling in real time. The crew, once confident in their superiority, begin to panic as their weapon systems shut down and their shields flicker weakly. What's even more baffling is that the human ships don't appear to be trying to destroy them. Instead, they are playing a strange game, using their ships to bombard the Empire destroyer with what appears to be nothing more than harmless waves of energy. The Empire's fleet leaders are thrown into confusion. Their most sophisticated systems, designed to respond to anything the galaxy can throw at them, are suddenly malfunctioning, unable to handle the chaos the humans are causing. It doesn't make sense. The humans are using their ships like oversized toys, constantly jumping between battle positions, creating wild energy pulses, and then disappearing, only to reappear in a different part of the battlefield. The chaos of it all is maddening. It's as though the humans are toying with them, playing a game they cannot possibly understand. But it's not just the technology. The human crews are proving even more unpredictable than their ships. Aboard the Empire's flagship, the command crew is losing their grip. They watch in horror as their ships are torn apart by what seems like nothing more than absurdity. The Empire's battle strategies, honed over centuries, are failing against what seems like complete nonsense. As their systems start to fail, they hear a strange sound crackling through their comms, a burst of laughter, followed by what can only be described as a joke. The humans are laughing at them, mocking them, and it's beginning to drive the Empire commanders mad. Desperate, the Empire begins to send more powerful ships into the fray. They deploy their most elite fighters, equipped with the latest stealth technology and advanced weaponry. But to their shock, the human ships continue to evade them with ease. The Empire's advanced systems can't keep up with the unpredictability of the human fleet. It's almost as if the human ships know exactly what the Empire is going to do before they even do it. Each attack feels like a carefully crafted counter, each movement on the battlefield like a carefully timed step in a strange, chaotic dance. The more the battle continues, the more it becomes clear that this is no longer a fight. It's an endurance test. The Empire is starting to question everything it once believed to be true. How can these humans, with their primitive ships and seemingly nonsensical tactics, continue to stay one step ahead? They aren't using technology in the way the Empire expected. They aren't adhering to any rules of warfare that the Empire understands. They are simply existing, laughing, and outwitting their enemies at every turn. As the battle rages on, the Empire's morale begins to crumble. The human fleet, small in comparison but somehow still intact, continues to dance around their attacks, its pilots laughing all the while. The Empire's once unshakable confidence is beginning to break. It's becoming clear that this battle isn't going to be won through strength alone. Something deeper is at play, something the Empire just can't grasp. And in the midst of it all, the humans' laughter continues, echoing across the vast emptiness of space, reminding the Empire that they have been thoroughly outclassed by a force they cannot understand. The Empire is now in full panic mode, and yet the humans' antics seem to only escalate. The once proud Imperial fleet is beginning to show signs of cracking under pressure. The human ships, small and unassuming, have become an unpredictable storm that sweeps through the Empire's carefully laid plans, dodging and weaving through every attack. The Empire, used to predictable enemies and airtight strategies, is struggling to even make sense of what's happening. What was once thought to be an easy victory has turned into a humiliating defeat that they can't seem to stop. One Empire captain, trying to regain some semblance of control, orders a full assault. His massive warship, a behemoth of steel and advanced technology, fires everything it has at a human vessel directly in front of it. The Empire's targeting systems are locked in, and for a brief moment, it seems like the human ship has no chance. But just before the blast reaches its target, the human ship does something completely unexpected. It flips sideways, almost defying the laws of physics, and barrels straight toward the oncoming fire. The Empire fleet braces for the inevitable explosion. Instead, the human ship slides just past the blast radius at the last possible second, emerging completely unharmed. The Empire fleet stares in stunned disbelief. The human ship hasn't just avoided the attack, it's mocked it. And now, as the human ship veers away, it performs an impossible maneuver. It dives into the heart of the Imperial fleet with a series of sharp turns and erratic movements that leave the Empire's ships unable to target it. The human vessel is moving in a completely random pattern, and the more the Empire tries to react, the more it becomes clear that they are being outsmarted at every turn. In the chaos, more human ships arrive, and the situation for the Empire becomes increasingly desperate. The humans are everywhere, darting around with wild abandon, pulling off moves that would be considered impossible for any trained pilot. Meanwhile, the Empire's fleets continue to fail in their pursuit, unable to land a single fatal blow on their target. The Empire is caught in a web of confusion and frustration. Every time they think they have the upper hand, the humans slip away, laughing all the while. As the battle rages on, something even more bizarre begins to happen. The humans, it seems, are not just outmaneuvering the Empire. They are actually starting to make fun of them. The human ships broadcast strange, surreal images that flood the Empire's communication channels. Bright, flashing lights, silly faces, and clips of human culture that leave the Empire's soldiers scratching their heads. At one point, a human ship begins to project a hologram of a giant rubber chicken, its wings flapping wildly across the battlefield. The Empire's crews are bewildered, confused, and unnerved. The very idea that they are being attacked by something so absurd is causing a mental breakdown in their ranks. But it's not just the absurdity of the situation that's throwing the Empire off. It's the realization that they can't predict what the humans will do next. Every move they make seems like it's part of some elaborate, intricate plan, yet there's no pattern to follow. The humans aren't trying to destroy the Empire in the way the Empire destroys its enemies. They aren't following any of the traditional rules of war. They are simply playing, laughing, and letting the battle unfold in a way that confounds all logic. As the day drags on, the Empire's confidence continues to erode. Their once invincible fleets are now a tangled mess, unable to cope with the human ship's tactics. The human vessels, once thought to be nothing more than a nuisance, are now causing real damage. And still, the laughter continues to ring out over the comms, loud, carefree, and echoing throughout the battlefield. The humans are laughing at their enemies, and it's more than just a sound. It's a weapon. The Empire has underestimated this enemy, and now they are paying the price. As the battle progresses, the Empire's sense of superiority continues to crumble under the weight of its own confusion. Every strategy they attempt is met with an unexpected counter from the humans, and it's becoming clear that they've misjudged this encounter in the most embarrassing way possible. The most advanced ships the Empire has to offer are being outwitted by these small, seemingly unremarkable human vessels. To make matters worse, the humans are still laughing, taunting the Empire with every maneuver. It's as if the more they try to fight, the more they play into the humans' hands. In a final desperate attempt to end the chaos, the Empire's flagship, a massive warship capable of wiping out entire fleets with a single blast, powers up its superweapon, a colossal energy beam designed to obliterate anything in its path. The Empire's high command believes this will be the decisive blow that will finally put an end to the human fleet's antics. The flagship locks onto the largest of the human ships, its sights set on this one vessel that seems to be causing the most trouble. The target is marked, and the countdown begins. Just before the super laser fires, the human ship suddenly changes course. It doesn't attempt to evade the weapon in a conventional manner. Instead, it accelerates straight toward the Empire's flagship. The Empire's commanders are stunned. Why would anyone deliberately fly into the path of a weapon that could destroy them instantly? The laser fires, and the human ship seems to charge headfirst into the blast. The Empire fleet watches in disbelief as the beam reaches the ship, only to pass harmlessly through it. The human ship has somehow vanished. No explosion, no debris, just empty space where the ship had been. The Empire flagship's systems register a sudden, inexplicable glitch, and the laser beam, which should have disintegrated the human vessel, dissipates harmlessly into space. The Empire's flagship, now without its weapon, is left vulnerable. The humans have done something that no one could have predicted. They didn't just evade the attack, they somehow turned it into a trap. In a matter of seconds, the human fleet descends upon the flagship, launching a series of calculated strikes that disable its weapons, disable its shields, and finally bring the mighty ship to a standstill. The humans don't seem interested in causing further destruction. They're simply playing their game, continuing their bizarre dance of unpredictable movements and chaotic counterattacks. The rest of the Empire fleet watches in horror as the flagship is rendered useless, its once imposing silhouette now a crippled, floating hulk in the middle of the battlefield. The human ships, using their strange, seemingly nonsensical tactics, have successfully taken down the Empire's most powerful weapon without firing a single shot in return. What's even more unsettling is that the humans are still broadcasting their laughter, their voices ringing out over the comms in a mocking chorus. It's a sound that reverberates through the shattered remnants of the Empire's fleet, a sound that seems to echo their growing realization that they have lost. The Empire's high command is thrown into disarray. Their prized warship is defeated, their fleet scattered and in disarray, and they still can't comprehend how they've been outsmarted. They have always prided themselves on their technological superiority, their ability to predict and control the flow of battle. But now, they are confronted with a terrifying truth. They can't predict the humans, because the humans don't follow any rules they understand. The Empire's military strategy, built on centuries of rigid doctrine and controlled tactics, has been dismantled by a group of individuals who are laughing in the face of it all. The question now isn't how the Empire will fight back. It's whether they can even understand how to fight at all. With the flagship now incapacitated and the Empire's fleet in disarray, something unprecedented begins to happen. The Empire's once proud commanders, those who had held their positions for decades through countless victories, are now grasping at straws. Their high-tech warships, once symbols of invincibility, are little more than sitting ducks against the unpredictable human onslaught. The Empire's military doctrine, which had been built on precision and overwhelming power, is proving to be utterly useless against an enemy that operates with chaos as its primary weapon. In the midst of the turmoil, one of the senior commanders, a seasoned admiral known for his calm and calculated strategies, tries to regain some semblance of control. He orders a regrouping of the remaining fleet, intending to create a defensive formation that could protect what little is left of the Empire's strength. But as the remaining ships begin to align, the humans, who have been observing the Empire's every move with a kind of amused detachment, make their move once again. Without warning, the human ships dart toward the Empire's fleet, their movements wild and erratic. The Empire's sensors, already malfunctioning, struggle to track the unpredictable patterns of the human ships as they weave in and out of the formation. The humans aren't focused on causing mass destruction. They're simply disrupting the Empire's ability to think clearly. With every sudden dive, twist, and flip, they break apart the once cohesive Empire defenses, forcing ships to collide or fire on each other in a desperate attempt to protect themselves from the human attackers. Meanwhile, over the communications channels, the humans' laughter continues to ring out, growing louder with each passing minute. It's no longer just a noise. It's a psychological weapon. The sound of it, as absurd as it seems, is causing real panic within the Empire fleet. The commanders begin to feel a sense of helplessness they've never experienced before. For the first time, the Empire isn't the one in control. The humans, with their strange tactics and their complete disregard for the Empire's rules of war, have completely turned the tide. The human ship designs, once considered rudimentary and inefficient, are now seen in a different light. They aren't just dodging Empire attacks. They're exploiting the weaknesses of the Empire's advanced systems. The once impenetrable shields of the Empire ships flicker and fail, unable to withstand the relentless barrage of unpredictable energy pulses and strange interference signals. The human ships don't even need to fire conventional weapons to inflict damage. They've mastered the art of disruption, throwing the Empire fleet into disarray with every move. The human pilots themselves are equally unsettling. It's as if they're not even fighting. They're playing a game. Every time the Empire adjusts its strategy, the humans adjust theirs, moving with the flow of the battlefield, as though they know what will happen before it even does. They don't seem to be reacting to the Empire. They're in complete control of their own actions. They're the ones setting the tempo, and the Empire is simply reacting to them. As the human fleet continues to disrupt and disable the remaining Empire ships, it becomes clear that the battle is lost. The Empire has no idea how to deal with an enemy that refuses to follow the laws of war. The once feared Empire fleet, with all its firepower and advanced technology, is now reduced to a disorganized mess, scattered across the battlefield like leaves in the wind. And yet, amidst the confusion, the humans continue to laugh. This time, the laughter is no longer just a sound of mockery. It's a symbol of victory. The Empire, for the first time in its history, is utterly powerless in the face of an enemy that is not bound by the same rules, the same expectations. The humans have not only defeated the Empire's military, they've shattered the very idea of what it means to be powerful. In their carefree, unpredictable way, they've shown that strength doesn't always come from technology or firepower. It comes from something far more elusive, the ability to outthink, outmaneuver, and, above all, outlast your enemy. And so, as the last remnants of the Empire's fleet begin to retreat, it's not the sound of weapons firing or ships exploding that fills the void of space. It's the sound of human laughter, echoing through the galaxy like a triumphant declaration. The retreat begins as the remaining Empire ships turn tail, desperately attempting to flee from the chaos they've been thrust into. But the humans, still laughing, don't let up. The human fleet, having thoroughly disrupted and outmaneuvered the Empire's forces, now begins to chase down the fleeing ships with an almost playful ferocity. It's clear now that the battle isn't about victory in the traditional sense. The humans aren't interested in wiping out every last enemy ship or conquering a planet. They're simply enjoying the game, enjoying the frustration they've caused, and there's nothing the Empire can do to stop it. The Empire's commanders, once confident in their ability to control every situation, are now scrambling to save what's left of their fleet. Their advanced technology, once the pinnacle of warfare, is no match for the unpredictability of the human ships. The Empire's sensors can't lock onto the human vessels. Their weapons systems malfunction in the face of the bizarre energy pulses the humans are emitting, and their shields flicker out, failing under the pressure of the human attacks. The once mighty Empire ships are now vulnerable, scattered, and falling apart as they try to escape. One by one, the remaining Empire ships are taken down not through brute force, but by simple, chaotic tactics that defy all logic. The human ships don't even need to engage in direct combat. They've already won. They dart in and out, disable key systems, and force the Empire ships into impossible situations. A few more ships try to make a last stand, firing everything they've got, but it's clear their attempts are futile. Their attacks are wild, desperate, and lacking any real precision. Meanwhile, the humans seem to be in complete control, almost as if they've already defeated their enemies mentally before they even fire a shot. The final moments of the battle are surreal. A massive Imperial destroyer, the last remaining symbol of the Empire's might, tries to make a final stand, positioning itself as a fortress among the chaos. It fires off a volley of devastating energy blasts, hoping to strike fear into the human fleet. But the humans, undeterred, simply dodge or avoid every blast, their ships skittering about with impossible precision. A group of human ships then flanks the destroyer, sending out electromagnetic pulses that disable its weapon systems, leaving it defenseless. The destruction isn't immediate, but the psychological toll on the Empire's crew is unmistakable. They watch, helpless, as their once indomitable ship is reduced to a sitting target. The human ships don't destroy it. They simply leave it behind, turning their attention elsewhere, mocking the final attempts of resistance. It's a defeat of a different kind, one that isn't marked by a single explosive victory, but by the slow, painful dismantling of everything the Empire once believed in. Across the battlefield, the few remaining Empire ships try to flee, but their engines sputter and fail. The humans chase them down like predators toying with their prey, swooping in and disabling them piece by piece. The Empire's once proud fleet, the very foundation of its power, is now reduced to a scattered, defeated mess. And throughout it all, the laughter of the humans continues, filling the empty void of space, a sound of unrestrained joy and victory. As the last Empire ships are disabled or forced to retreat into the far reaches of space, the human fleet gathers together. They haven't just won. They've humiliated the Empire in a way that no one could have predicted. The battle, once expected to be a slaughter in favor of the Empire, has turned into an improbable and utterly absurd triumph for the humans. The Empire's arrogance, its belief in its technological superiority, has been shattered. And now, in the silence that follows, the humans stand victorious, not through firepower or might, but through their unpredictable, chaotic nature and the simple, powerful act of laughing in the face of what seemed like an insurmountable enemy. The galaxy, once a place of order and dominance by the Empire, is left reeling from the shock. No one can believe what they've just witnessed. The Empire has been beaten, not by superior technology or strength, but by the most unlikely of enemies, a race of humans who are able to find humor in even the most dangerous of circumstances, and whose laughter has proven to be the most powerful weapon of all. The aftermath of the battle is a quiet one, but it speaks volumes. The once mighty Empire is left broken, its fleet shattered, and its commanders humiliated. Across the galaxy, the Empire's reputation, which had once struck fear into the hearts of countless civilizations, begins to crumble. No longer is it seen as an unstoppable force. It is now the object of ridicule and disbelief. What was supposed to be a routine military campaign against a weak and primitive species has turned into a story of utter defeat, and it's a story that spreads like wildfire through the galaxy. The humans, for their part, take no grandiose victory laps. There are no grand speeches or celebratory parades. Instead, they simply return to their ships, the laughter still echoing across the comm channels, but it's no longer mocking. It's a triumphant sound, a reminder that they've outsmarted an empire that was supposed to be invincible. They haven't conquered a star system or taken control of any planets, but they've done something far more profound. They've shown the galaxy that power isn't just about advanced technology or overwhelming force. It's about resilience, ingenuity, and above all, the ability to never take oneself too seriously. In the following days, reports of the battle begin to surface in various corners of the galaxy. For the first time, the Empire is forced to explain how they were bested by a species they had deemed inconsequential. The human ships, small and rudimentary compared to the Empire's gargantuan war vessels, had overwhelmed the Empire with nothing more than a mix of chaos and humor. The Empire's high command is in turmoil. How could this happen? How could they have been outwitted by a race that had no formal military training? The questions are endless, and the answers are few. But the humans aren't concerned with the Empire's confusion. They're not interested in glory or recognition. Instead, they quietly go about their lives, continuing their exploration of the galaxy with a renewed sense of purpose. The humans haven't just secured a victory. They've cemented their place in the galaxy as a species that cannot be ignored, a species that has proven it can defy the odds, laugh in the face of overwhelming power, and win. In the wake of the battle, the Empire begins to fracture. Its once unified command structure begins to unravel, with various factions questioning the competence of their leaders. The loss is a wound that the Empire will struggle to heal, and as the galaxy looks on, many wonder what the future holds for such a diminished power. The humans, meanwhile, are not content to sit idle. They begin to form alliances with smaller, more vulnerable systems that had once lived in fear of the Empire's wrath. The humans become symbols of resistance, proof that even the most powerful empire can be brought low by the most unlikely of forces. And so, the galaxy begins to change. The Empire, once a monolithic force that seemed unstoppable, is now in retreat, its prestige forever tarnished. The humans, with their odd, unpredictable ways, have demonstrated that they are more than just survivors. They are a force to be reckoned with. As time passes, stories of the battle spread to every corner of the galaxy, told with awe and disbelief by those who lived through it. The Empire, once the unquestioned ruler of the stars, has been humiliated by the laughter of a species that refused to be cowed by its power. And as the humans continue to spread throughout the galaxy, they leave behind a legacy that no one can ignore. It's a legacy not of military might or technological superiority, but of the belief that no matter how strong the enemy may be, laughter, and the sheer will to never give up, can be the most powerful weapon of all. The Empire, and any who would follow its example, have learned this lesson the hard way.